Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
You're locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
Your host,
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
the Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin, the show about pro wrestling and everything else. What is going on? Let me tell you something. It is about 70 degrees in sunny Boston, Massachusetts. I am sitting here sipping on my Panera Bread iced coffee. You know, I keep telling you folks, I have named this coffee the Sierra Perfect, okay? This is after my favorite coffee barista, Sierra. You know, shout out to Panera Quincy here in Massachusetts there. It's a hazelnut coffee, and you just do 4 sugars, some almond milk. You know, whether you do it hot or iced, it doesn't matter. It's just delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. I'm telling you, got to check it out. In fact, you know, Panera, they just came out with a new dark roast coffee. This is 100% Colombian coffee, so it definitely has some kick to it. And if you're going to do that, I'm gonna give you a little tip, okay? Because it's so strong, go with the cane sugar syrup, okay? They have that cane sugar syrup. I get about 6 of those with the almond milk, iced. It's the way to go, man. I'm telling you, you get a little sweet tooth going there, but that coffee is so strong that it really needs the balance of the cane sugar syrup. Once again, Panera Bread. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Listen, it is Mother's Day week, okay? We don't just celebrate one day. We don't just celebrate one weekend. We're going to celebrate it the whole week, baby. You better believe it. And because of that, your boy, the Duke, is going to celebrate the mothers out there, okay? In fact, I have 2 fantastic wrestlers who are also mothers, 2 women who have taken time away from pro wrestling to start their families, and then they've come back to kick some butt out there. So I think you're really going to enjoy this episode. I get a conversation with Ashley Mayberry, who is a fantastic indie pro wrestler, and also Amber Rodriguez. I mean, somebody that, you know, she's been around the block and then some. She's beaten just about all of the asses out there. You know, folks love to hate her. I think you're really going to enjoy both of those conversations. Before we get into any of that, though, I do want to say from the bottom of my heart to all the mothers out there and to all the mother figures out there. Okay, this is important as well. To all the mother figures as well, happy Mother's Day to you. All right, we really appreciate you. To all the mothers who are up there in heaven right now, we miss you. We have not forgotten about you. Legitimately, if you are a mother or a mother figure, we hope that you just have a fantastic week and a, you know, fantastic time no matter where you are in this world, in the afterlife, whatever. Just, you know, to all the moms out there, seriously, we appreciate you. That's right. Okay, once again, check out, we're going to start off with my conversation with Ashley Mayberry. Now, keep in mind, these were pre-recorded. So I recorded this a few days ago, and we're just going to jump right in. Without further ado, welcome to the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. Ashley Mayberry. What's going on there, Ashley?
Nothing much, man. Just kind of hanging out. Got the baby sleeping. Got my poor people water going on here. So we're in great shape. Okay, Ashley Mayberry. We got to, because you know, with the Mayberry name, which is kind of fancy, we got to talk about this. What is poor people water? What are we talking about here? All right. So normally I like, you know, like the it's called Wakivia water. It's from Hawaiian volcanic rocks, or I like core water because it actually helps you stay hydrated longer. But poor people water is the kind you can get at Walmart for like $4, a 24 pack.
or the Walmart spring water with the little blue lid. That's poor people water.
So wait a second. So I drink the 24 pack of store-bought water, like the great value waters at Walmart and what have you here. So are you calling me poor people?
No, I'm calling you humble because I drink it when I feel I need to humble myself. When I need to keep myself grounded. It's also when I'm actually broke, because I truly am broke. I just have a Nordstrom state of mind. It's really quite sad.
Oh, so wait a second. Are you one of those? Because Ashley, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. And we'll let everybody else know. A lot of folks don't realize this, but when the Duke was in high school and also in college, to pay the bills, I worked in retail. So I worked at the mall, and I had a nice little mall job and what have you. And one of the things that I always found fascinating, because there was a Nordstrom in the mall I worked at. It was a pretty upscale mall. They developed a Nordstrom cafe where they would sell coffee and mini personalized pizzas, sometimes pasta dishes, things like that, right? And I was always fascinated at how expensive everything on the menu. I mean, this was like Starbucks level ridiculous as far as the pricing is concerned. So are you one of those Nordstrom cafe fancy Starbucks people?
I'm gonna let you in on a not so secret. Yes, I am. I think in 1 month I dropped over $200 on Starbucks. I have my go-to drinks definitely, but yeah, I don't go below a venti. So they have the tall, the grande, the venti, and then they have a Trenta. So I don't go below venti. It's venti or Trenta for me every day, all the time. I wake up wanting coffee.
I have never seen a Trenta anything. So this is
a full bottle of wine in it. I will tell you that much.
Oh my God. All right. So this is a whole new world for me. So anybody listening right now, if you knew what a Trenta at Starbucks is, I need you to let me know, because that's not even on the menu, right?
No, they don't put it on the menu. And I've actually seen some stores that because they run out of them, like the refreshers that they have, those come in Trenta. You can get them in Trenta, but certain other drinks as well. But generally 90% of the menu items only come in the venti. But like I said, I don't go below a venti.
Wow, I guess it's just not good enough for you. You got to go all the way. Now, wait a second. Does that fit in a cup holder when you get one of those Trenta drinks there?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good to know. At least it fits in the cup holder, even though it's like bigger than my head, I bet. Jesus.
It's more about the length than the thickness.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. I see what's going on here. What kind of Starbucks are you going to, Ashley? Oh my goodness.
This is what happens when you're a wrestler and you spend so much time around men and boys and
All right. So I need to know what Starbucks you're going to so I can stay away from that one, because this sounds like some funny business to me. I don't know.
Any of them in the Orlando area.
Yep, it all is starting to make sense now. Okay,
yo,
I get it. All right, so you got to level with me here. So if I need a Starbucks drink, all right, let's say that I have enough stars to get myself the free drink or the birthday drink. Let's say the birthday drink. You get a free drink for your birthday, and I think that you can have anything. So if Ashley's ordering the Duke's Starbucks birthday drink, what's it going to be?
All right, so I have my 3 go-to drinks. Then I generally don't vary away from them. I do a Trenta mango dragon fruit refresher with no water, adding the berries from the very berry or the acai strawberry or the very berry hibiscus, whichever one that one is. I add those berries. Then I usually do the caramel ribbon crunch frap with almond milk or coconut milk and extra crunchies on top and an extra shot of espresso. But my ultimate hot coffee drink is the honey almond flat white in a venti. It's a very acquired taste, but it is so good. And there's never anything left over.
All right. So this is not, I mean, I feel like I could order everything that you just said. This isn't like a triple no foam, super duper trooper or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
these sound like pretty simple drinks that you're ordering. You just ordering them big, huh?
I order them big and I order a lot of them.
Ah, okay. All right.
But they're very simple drinks.
Wow. Well, we'll have to get a Starbucks barista on here to actually verify how simple these drinks are, because it sounds like you mean business. I mean, would you say $200 in 1 month on Starbucks?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have a Starbucks card anymore.
Was that all coffee, or was there food involved?
There was some food, but the majority of it was coffee, yes.
Unbelievable.
But I was going about 3 times a day.
Let me tell you something, Ashley Mayberry.
Yes, sir.
When the Duke goes to Starbucks, first of all, I got to get my stars. I play little free games that they give you. So I collect my stars. I get about 50 to 100 stars every time they have a game. And I cash in because for 50 stars, you can get the Pike Place coffee. So I cash in and I get just a regular cup of coffee. Sometimes they'll put some of that Irish cream flavoring in there for me and don't charge me anything extra. But even if I have to buy the coffee, it's never more than, say, $3. You're over here like, you know, spending like your daddy Wallbucks or something here.
I don't enjoy peasant coffee that tastes like peasants. Like,
okay.
I'm sorry, okay. I don't do basic coffee.
Okay. I see what's going on here. Okay. So we got a big shot wrestler here, doesn't want to mix with the peasants. So what happens? You know, I'm starting to feel like maybe you're a little like Gorgeous George, where you have to be sprayed with perfume before you do a lockup. You don't want the dirty peasants to touch you. You know, the model Rick Martel did something similar. So, you know, what's going on here? I mean, if you don't like the peasants, then how do you even put your hands on any of your opponents?
I mean, I deal with the peasants as they come because I'd rather get them before they get me, is all I'm saying.
Unbelievable. And let's take a step back here, because over the past year, you actually just gave birth to a new baby, right?
Yes, he is 2 months old today. And he's definitely changed the aspects of things for me, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I love him to death. He loves wrestling shows. I will tell you that much. He is absolutely in love with wrestling.
So I got to know this. So is the baby, you know, are they picking up on some of the Ashley Mayberry tendencies here, where they got to have the special type of formula and the special binky or something like that? Like, come on, what's going on here? Does the baby have expensive taste as well?
He is particular with his binky, and he does. He is on a special formula, but it's because he has allergies.
He's allergic to the common people water and yes. Formula and what have you. Got it. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay. We're starting to get a little snapshot into what's really going on over in the Mayberry family there. My goodness.
Yeah, my little special boy.
I've always wondered about this, Ashley, because, you know, pro wrestling as an industry is already, it has its own challenges.
Yes.
Now, add to it the fact that you're a mother. Add to it the fact that you just had a baby that literally is only a few months old here. How does that work? How does it work balancing the life of being a pro wrestler and being a mom?
So it's definitely interesting trying to keep everything, you know, grounded, keep everything, like, you have to remember now you're not just focused on packing your stuff. You have to also pack stuff for the baby. And of course I make sure that my husband's stuff is all packed. It grounds you, but it also helps keep you organized.
That makes sense, because I know that, and as you said, your husband is a wrestler as well. So when you think about stories of wrestlers who are very particular about how they pack their stuff, Barry Horowitz, for example, was well known for having a fanny pack that had everything in it. I mean, if you needed a spork, if you needed some aspirin, if you needed a spare tire, everything was in Barry Horowitz's fanny pack. So when it comes to Ashley Mayberry, what sort of things is she packing for herself, her husband, the baby? What's the thing that most people would not even expect for you to pack that you definitely have to have in the gear bag there?
I don't know, what do I got? I have floss. I have typical normal stuff. I don't have anything, but in the baby's gear bag, there's butt paste, there's like extra diapers, there's baby wipes, which can be great for helping clean off like when you're done wrestling and you're like sweaty and you obviously, you need to wipe down. I don't have anything like too out of the ordinary.
All right. So for all of you freaks out there, there's something in the world called butt paste. So that is a new one. Again, I don't know what's going on with this interview right now, folks. I don't know. That's
Listen, it happens. Let's just understand. There's paste for your butt. Like,
I'm afraid to ask. Actually, I am afraid to ask.
It helps diaper rash for his little tushy.
Well, why couldn't they call it that? I don't know. What is this butt paste business?
Because there's a brand called Bordeaux butt paste.
Is this another one of those fancy, expensive things here?
I mean, I don't know if it's the most expensive, but it's definitely not cheap.
All right. So add butt paste to the list of things that fancy people will buy. In this case, for their baby, I'm hoping. Although you just said that
for the baby,
if the wrestlers use the baby wipes to wipe themselves after matches, so who knows about this butt paste? I don't know. This could be a thing here.
That's true. Rikishi, there are. Listen, those are customs, and that costs money.
Oh no! Are we going to start a revolution here? This is crazy.
I don't do those kinds of customs.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, for anybody out there, because for some reason there's the whole twerking thing. Ever since Rikishi started doing it, and the stink face and all that, it's like it has gotten a new life on the independent wrestling scene, and it seems like no matter what card you're on, somebody is doing some sort of twerking or stink face or something, right? So
right.
I don't know. Maybe this butt paste stuff, maybe it's catching on. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to bring that to my next show and see if anybody's interested in doing a butt paste fight.
This is crazy. So, well, speaking about your next show, so what's going on? When are we going to see you back on the scene? Because we know that, again, the baby's only 2 months old, so you had to take some time off and get some things in order there. But are you going to be back on the scene soon?
Well, I want to make sure I'm properly conditioned and, more properly. I want to make sure I want to retrain myself essentially. That way I can make sure I am where I need to be. I don't want to step back in and, risk injury to myself or to somebody else. That wouldn't be a thing. And I know many people who have helped me train would be very, very upset with me if I were to do that. So I want to make sure I'm properly trained, properly conditioned, and can, put on a good match for the fans and for the locker room. But I'm looking, let's see what we're in May now. I'm looking at a return possibly in July.
Well, the good part about that is by then, a lot of other things will be opened up. So it'll be interesting, especially the live events. I mean, they're starting to trickle open now. But definitely by July, I expect things to be almost full blast again. So Ashley Mayberry hitting the scene once again, beating people up once again. It's something else because people don't realize the things that women in wrestling go through. I was fascinated when through the years I've interviewed people and they've talked to me about rupturing their implants. And it's not something that we think about, but then when you think about, how many women in wrestling have implants, and it's like, well, you're taking all those bumps. Yeah, I could see how that could be a problem.
Well, I can tell you, don't worry about that with me. I work with what God gave me naturally. I have what people pay for.
Here we go again.
Well, I'm an open book. I told you, I don't hold nothing. I don't see a point in holding back from my personality.
Listen, if anyone did not know who Ashley Mayberry is before this, they are looking her up right now because, yeah, she is always like this, folks. She is always like this. This is wild, man. You know, but my point was there are different medical things that you go through that are totally different from the men, and you get injured just like anybody else. So to think that here we have this mother who is only a few months out of surgery and what have you, having the delivering the baby. Yeah, you're right. You want to make sure that your body is where it needs to be from a physical standpoint before you get back in the ring, not only for your own personal safety, but for the safety of your opponent. So that's a very mature way to address your business there. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
So what's it going to be like? I mean, seriously, what are your goals for the foreseeable future in the wrestling industry? Because we know that you've made quite a name for yourself before you took some time off. We know that you're somebody who has been a little controversial because you've had to beat some people up and straighten them out for taking you lightly there. So in 2021 and beyond, what can we expect from Ashley Mayberry?
I'm still going to be the same vicious person that I've been. I'm amping it up, definitely. But I'm also going to be smarter because while I've been out of the ring for the past few months, I've taken that opportunity to learn more about the office side of things and more about, the production side of things. And I've been afforded some opportunities to shadow some really amazing people. Even if I'm not officially shadowing them, just being able to be around them, ask questions, pick brains, and, how does this work? What about this? And, seeing some behind the scenes stuff, it's gotten me a lot more interested in things like that. And so I have the opportunity to learn. I'm going to learn. So I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to hit harder. And I've got a lot of loose ends to tie up. So
you hear that? So all you promoters out there, don't be bringing none of that peasant water, because Ashley Mayberry, she needs the top of the line stuff from what did you say, Hawaiian volcanoes, or whatever the hell you were talking about. Yeah,
it's called Waikivia or Waikivia or something like that. It's in a blue bottle. And it's filtered through Hawaiian volcanic rocks.
All right, so we want that blue bottle water, none of that other stuff, not green, not yellow,
that peasant juice.
That peasant juice. Ashley,
we don't do no Tampico here. We only do V8.
Oh my God. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Okay. All right. We get it now. I'm not messing with you because you can beat me up. So I'm going to be careful what I say here.
And you're from Boston, so I have every reason in the world to beat you up.
What? No, whoa. What's the issue here with Boston? We're pretty nice people here.
All I'm saying is I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan and my husband's a New York Yankees fan.
Listen, see, you messed up there, because even though I'm born and raised and still in Boston, I am a Yankees fan. My first baseball card was a Don Mattingly Topps hologram, 1986. Ever since I saw that, Don Mattingly played first base for the Yankees. Ever since I saw that card, it was the first hologram I ever saw. I've been a Yankees fan ever since. You see that? How about that for the babyface?
Where do you stand on hockey teams?
Well, it's either Montreal Canadiens or Calgary, because Jerome McGinley was my guy for many years, even though he did play in Boston at some point. But I'm a Jerome McGinley guy. So the Canadiens or the Calgary. Calgary was my team for a while.
All right, not terrible.
See? You didn't see that
like
coming,
you for
did
the Calgary part, but the Montreal fans, ugh.
Well, Montreal and Boston have had a rivalry for such a long time.
They're both crap.
All right. So who's your team, since you got so much to say?
I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
Disgusting. You guys don't even do hockey. Do you do hockey over there?
We just won the Stanley Cup.
Enough. You bought a Stanley Cup. Come on, Ashley. You bought a Stanley Cup.
You know what? You can talk. I'm just going to listen for the rest of this interview. I'm just going to let you talk. It's going to be a very silent interview.
This is it. And back with the heel turn.
I think my newborn needs to interview me now. I need to go.
All right. Enough with the hockey talk. What's the best way people can catch you online, Ashley?
All right. The best way to catch me online is definitely going to be I'm more active on Instagram than anything at with 2 E's, Ashley Mayberry. You can catch me on my Facebook fan page at Ashley Mayberry and my Twitter at Star Wars Royalty. The S, the W, and the R are all capitalized. So.
Wow. Okay. She is Ashley Mayberry. She doesn't like peasant water. She spends exorbitant amount of money on Starbucks. All that said, she doesn't know how to pick good hockey teams, though. Thank you, Ashley.
Mm-hmm. You know what? It was nice knowing you, Duke.
Such a fun conversation there. Once again, Ashley Mayberry. You know, she's tearing it up down there in the Florida indie scene, so definitely keep a lookout for her. That's right. You know, it's really something special here because with the warm weather coming and everything is starting to open back up, you know that people are getting vaccinated. You know, we're hearing that you can peel off the mask for more opportunities there, which is not so bad. But definitely wear your mask in crowds. Don't stop doing that, please. Of course. But, you know, that means we got to continue to get back into this fitness craze here and continue to put some of the good stuff in our body, because I'm sure if you're like me, you've packed on a couple of extra pounds. So now it's time to walk those pounds off, run those pounds off, do what you got to do, baby. And while you're doing that, I definitely encourage you to check out Navita's Organics. Okay, my friends over there, they have a long line of delicious health foods, powders, you name it. I mean, they got the maca powder, they got matcha, they have turmeric latte teas. They got all kinds of great stuff there that are delicious. You can make your smoothies, you can put it in there with your yogurt, you name it. It's just good stuff there over at Navita's Organics. Good folks over there, I'm telling you. I love to use their products in my smoothies. Sometimes I just take the the cacao powder and just put it in my coffee. You know, give it a nice little extra mocha flavor, so to speak, there. So once again, shout out to my friends over at Navita's Organics. And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to be talking to La Reina, Amber Rodriguez.
This is Alexa. And this is Brianna. And we're Sugar and Spice. And you're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling.
All right, folks, we're back here. And listen, I have a special treat. I have on the line legitimately one of the top stars on the independent wrestling scene and her number one fan, her number one tag team partner, and somebody who is probably going to be the world or the universal champion. And when I say universal, I'm not talking about one wrestling promotion, but literally outer space. She's going to take all the belts. Okay. So I'm talking about Amber Rodriguez and her mini me there. How you doing there, Amber?
Good. You want to say hi, baby? Hey.
Hi. So this is this your daughter's first interview?
Yeah. Or second.
Awesome.
No, because she hopped on with I think it was Britt and Mel on a mission for Mission Pro.
Oh, okay. So this is her second. I feel honored about this. So I know that there's some jelly beans going on over there. What kind of jelly beans are we eating?
You want to say what kind of jelly beans? She's shy now.
Listen, I have a sweet tooth, so that's why I asked. I'm a big jelly beans fan myself.
I don't care for them.
Really?
They're her thing, though. Yeah, I've never been into them. I'm more of a chocolate person.
Oh, okay. So even the fancy jelly beans, like the Jelly Belly, because they have all the different flavors, that's not for you, huh?
Those are so gross to me.
Oh, no.
Like, those are so nasty.
Do you remember the first time you had the popcorn Jelly Belly jelly bean?
Oh, I think I almost threw up. Like, it was so Oh, and the Harry Potter ones that they had at one point. Those were terrible.
I don't remember those. What did those taste like?
Yeah, I think it was like I think it was Sorcerer's Stone or Chamber of Secrets. When one of those came out, they came out with these jelly beans for the movie, and yeah, it was bad. They had like the earwax flavor and like the butter beer. Like it was like stuff like from the movie. So it was like a bunch of really weird flavors. I hated it.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. That's pretty. See, I'm a big jelly. Even the cheap jelly beans, like the ones that like the store brand. I love them.
Ugh.
I love them.
I like jelly beans.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Yes, you. That's why you're going to be the champion, because you like the jelly beans just like me. That's right. So, what kind of chocolate are we eating, Amber? If you had to pick one chocolate to eat for the rest of your life, what brand, what flavor, what's it going to be?
Red velvet.
Wow.
Red velvet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I count that as chocolate because it's just chocolate with red food coloring. So I like red velvet and any kind of like candy. Like the only chocolate candy I'm not a fan of is Snickers.
What?
I don't really care for Snickers.
What is this all about? What's wrong with Snickers?
I don't know. It's a texture thing for me.
Is it like too lumpy? Like there's too much going on over there?
There's just too much going on.
Okay. Anybody listening, if you ever decide to get Amber any chocolate, you make sure you keep those Snickers away from her. She doesn't want any of that lumpy chocolate. All right, please. That's interesting. Now, when it comes to pro wrestling, because we know that you have been beating people up all over the place. You're somebody who is very well known for getting it done in the ring. Do you incorporate chocolate? Is that like is it a treat after the match, before the match? Like what's up with that?
I wait till after. It's like a treat to myself after training and dieting, preparing for the match. So it's like I finally get to just let go a little bit.
There you go. So if you like the match, then you treat yourself to some chocolate afterwards, huh?
I mean, even if I don't like it, emotional eating is the thing too. So yeah, we all know that, especially after this past year. My goodness. Yeah, I'm like, either way, it's gonna help me feel better. So
now listen, I wonder about this here, because you were trained by Gilbert, right?
Yes, originally, yes. A lot of people helped me out along the way and like had a hand in my training, but yeah, he was the first wrestling school that I went to with my brother Chuck Lennox. So
I wonder about this, because he seems like somebody that might have had a little too much candy, especially when he's doing that Goldberg gimmick. Is he a laid back dude? Is he a little out there? What's up with this guy?
I haven't spoken to him in years, but from what I remember, he's very chill, very laid back, but at the same time, like very hyper, just like always on 10. It's a weird balance.
I'm telling you, it's got to be the jelly beans. It's all about the jelly beans. Gilbert, if you're listening, we know you've been getting in the jelly beans, brother. Come on. That's right. Amber, you're somebody that people love to hate, right?
Yeah.
Because, obviously you are a better wrestler than most of the people you're in the ring with. And you dress better than them. You obviously eat finer chocolate than they do. And I know that a lot of people are jealous about that. Girardelli, that's right. That's right. So how do you balance that? How do you balance the fact that you are somebody that people will line up to boo, but secretly they can't get enough of you and they want to see you over and over again?
I mean, you can't deny talent. You know what I mean? Just because I'm cocky doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about.
And you've proven that.
Yeah, I've been around for a minute, and I just, I'm at a point now where I know how to get the reaction I want out of people. It's all mind games, really, if you think about it. Like, as performers, you want to like orchestrate the audience in a way. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
It makes sense. Absolutely. It's like call and response. I mean, you do that one little thing and you know that they're going to give you what you need in return, right? To let you know that you're doing the right thing. So
yeah,
that's good stuff. One of the things that I like about you is that you are so good on the mic. I mean, legitimately. And hey, this is a podcast. I interview people all the time. Most people are not very good on the mic. Most people are not very good communicators. Did it come naturally to you, or was this something that you really had to work at developing, because you're pretty good at it?
It's so easy for me to run my mouth and talk crap about people. But as far as mastering the art of a promo, of a really good promo, I got to give credit to one of my old mentors, Black G's. He's somebody that I really looked up to coming in the business as far as his mic work. Like he just had that street style, and at the same time, like, knew just what to say and knew how to convey it in a way that it doesn't necessarily put the opponent down, but it's like, hey, this is why I'm better than you still, even though this is what you bring to the table, if that makes sense. So he's somebody that really helped me out and, like, mastering that skill, because a good promo can really take you a long way. I mean, I know people that have gotten signed that aren't the best wrestlers, but they can talk their butts off. So yeah, I always say, like, no one should sleep on a good promo.
You got that right. I mean, if you can talk people into the building or talk their eyeballs on to pay attention to TV, you're doing something right for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder, because you're from the East Coast like I am, right?
Yeah. And then I migrated down here to Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, of all places, that's a big jump there for sure. How does that affect the way that you're able to communicate, being somebody who's from the East Coast? Because like you said, you like to run your mouth, and that's definitely something here in Boston we're pretty well known for too.
Well, I developed a little bit of an accent. But other than that, like, I don't know, like, I feel if nothing else, with me not really being from the South and bringing who I am to these Southern promotions, I feel like if anything, it makes me stand out more because it's a different swag that comes with it.
And you certainly do. I mean, there's no two ways about it. When Amber Rodriguez is in the room, everyone is paying attention. When she has the mic in her hand, it's a whole other level of something. There's no two ways about it there. Amber, you actually did something interesting after you first started wrestling. You decided to join the military.
Yeah.
So how was that leap to decide, you know what, I'm gonna lay my life down for my country and go through that as well, and then come back to pro wrestling after that?
Well, I kind of told or touched on a little bit of my story when I did Brian's podcast. Shout out to the Wrestling Realm. So I left wrestling in November 2015. I had just made this, or to everybody else, I guess it seemed random for me to just stop wrestling and join the military. Really, I joined to kind of find myself. Unfortunately, I'm a survivor of sexual assault. And so that definitely played a role in my decision to walk away from the business and to just kind of take a step back and, just find myself again and, be a part of something that made me feel whole, if that makes sense. And, I planned to come back after I joined and, I got stationed somewhere and I got settled. And then I ended up, having my baby. So that was a delay. And, and then I felt like, well, maybe I'm just kind of done. Maybe this is a sign that it's over. Having gone through all of that, it just kind of made me realize, like, when I stopped, I wanted to be because I decided to and on my own terms. And I want my daughter to see, like, hey, I went through something that was really awful, but look at me now. I came back from it, reinvented myself, and I'm still chasing my dreams,
That is so wonderful. And you mentioned a name there. Shout out to Brian H. Waters over at the Wrestling Realm. That's my guy right there. I know that's somebody that you put in the headlock from time to time when he steps out of line. So I appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
You talked about your daughter, and we can hear her in the background there. She's part of this interview as well, so we appreciate her for that.
I'm so sorry.
No, there's nothing to be sorry about. I mean, she's a star, so she should be featured. So I get it.
Oh yeah, she's got my heels on now, by the way.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's all that cracking. Yeah, she's walking around in my heels.
Well, kids are going to mimic what they see, so that does make me wonder. I mean, how does it feel to have your daughter see you wrestle? I mean, what is that like?
I mean, it's kind of like, what I said with the last question, like, as far as her seeing me continue to be that go-getter and, continue to, pick myself up after, facing, this kind of trauma, and so I hope it's empowering for her. She hasn't really been into wrestling per se until I'd say until the last couple months, maybe. She just got into it. Because at first she was just not impressed with me whatsoever.
It's funny about that. Every star says that, no matter what line of work. I mean, a basketball player would say their kid's favorite is not them. So it doesn't surprise me that you said your daughter wasn't as impressed in the beginning, but now she's starting to get into it. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, before she was really just into Sesame Street. So.
Well, who wasn't? I'll tell you. Listen, Mr. Rogers taught me how to tie my shoe, and Sesame Street helped me with my ABC. So I'm with it. I'm with it 100%. Shout out to Ernie and the whole crew over there at Sesame Street. It's my peeps. That's right. So Amber, you actually have a pretty cool thing going on outside of all of this, where you're dipping your toe into the skincare world there, right? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so me and my sister recently started our line of skincare products, and we use 100% holistic ingredients. Everything's organic and natural, and we have a line of body butters and shower gel, lotions, milk baths, lip scrubs, all types of stuff. So you can actually check us out on Ashley Renee LLC at or on Instagram. We have a website, but it's under construction right now. So for now, you can check out our Instagram.
That's pretty cool. And I'm noticing that more and more men are getting into skincare.
Yes, and all of our products are, unisex. It's for everybody. It's not necessarily just geared toward women. So yeah, there's stuff in there for the boys too.
You hear that, fellas? So especially those of us who shave our heads, who have to keep our beards neat, so we're cropping it and shaving it on a regular basis. You definitely want to check out the new skincare line that Amber and her sister have going on, because you're going to find something good for yourself as well, in addition to the women in your life. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff. And since we're on this train here, Amber, why don't you let everybody know how they can follow you online as well, to keep up with where you're going to be booked next and whatever else you have going on in wrestling?
So I'm on Instagram and Twitter at one Amber Rodriguez. Both of those are the same. Facebook fan page, Amber Rodriguez. YouTube, same name. And like I said, follow our skincare line, Ashley Renee LLC on Instagram. And so I've got Elevate Pro this Saturday, May 8th. I'm facing my mentee, my wrestling daughter, Amaris Blair. And then May 22nd, I have RWR out in Houston at the Houston Premier Arena. I'll be facing Rachel Rose. And come check me out at those 2 events in May.
Before I let you go, Amber, I got to ask, we talked about jelly beans. We talked about chocolate. You have a young child there who's getting into stuff and what have you, which is fantastic. What's the go-to dish? You're a mom now. What's the go-to dish? What's that one meal that you can put on the table that everybody's going to be happy about, and it's a good treat?
For her, or just for me?
Or for all of you. Is there one thing?
The thing? My kid only eats chicken nuggets and French fries. I mean, that's her diet. She refuses anything else unless it's candy. But for me and my husband and my friends, I actually love to cook. I love to cook steak, good old steak and potatoes, and a green veggie on the side like broccoli or asparagus or something like that. Can't ever go wrong with chicken, like Parmesan chicken, stuff like that. So yeah, either one of those are my typical go-tos.
All right, so I'm
gonna show her doll to the camera.
Well, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome that she's showing her doll. What kind of doll was that?
I put it on a milkshake. Your doll has a milkshake? That's dope. Wow. Yeah, it's one of those American dolls.
Of course it is. Of course it is. That is awesome. She could see herself in some of those dolls. That's awesome. You know, I was going to say during the pandemic, one of the things I learned how to do, I take a potato and I make little slices in it. So it's almost like an accordion. And then you put your oil and your seasoning and what have you, and then either throw it in the air fryer or throw it in the oven and bake it. And in the end, it's almost like the top is chips. You could peel it off and eat it. It's crispy, it's delicious, and you still have the meat of the potato in the middle there.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So I throw that challenge out to Amber Rodriguez, and she likes to have her steak and potatoes here. Maybe one day she's going to give her version of the potato that's actually chips on the top and the middle. I forgot what it's called. I have to look that up again.
Look that up and let me know.
I sure will. Because you're a foodie. I'm a foodie. I'll tell you another thing, because there are chicken nuggets connoisseurs over there. I got some frozen chicken nuggets, and I layered it on a pan. Then I put the Parmesan cheese on top. I put the tomato sauce, and then I baked it. And that was chicken Parmesan. It tasted just like it would taste in a restaurant.
It sounds pretty good. But see, for her, like I bread the chicken and everything. Like I at least try to make it. I make her French fries. I try to avoid fast food as much as I can, unless we're like on a road trip or something like that where you can't really help it. But at home, I try to make everything from scratch as much as I can. And I use spelt flour instead of regular flour.
Oh wow! I've never even heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's alkaline, and I also fry with grapeseed oil instead of like a vegetable or something like that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I'm learning something new. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening here, Amber Rodriguez, not only does she have better skin than you because she has this cool skincare line, she eats better chocolate than you. Now she's using spelt flour and grapeseed oil to make her fries and chicken nuggets. Listen, we can't mess with her. Amber Rodriguez, even when she's in the kitchen, she is still the heel that you love to hate. And that's why we appreciate you being on the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
Fun conversation there with Amber Rodriguez and also Ashley Mayberry earlier there. Again, Mother's Day, that's what it's all about the whole week. And we're celebrating the mothers in pro wrestling with these young ladies here. Really appreciate you all. Okay, join me next week where I think we're going to have a guy on who, not only is he a wrestler, but he's also a chef. The Duke loves to talk about food. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have... I'm not going to tell you what his name is. You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. But it should be an interesting conversation. It's going to be all about food and wrestling. Because, as you know, they go hand in hand, baby. Till then, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.